So the Samoans have booked themselves their spot in the 2024 Paris Olympics, getting themselves the win over Papua New Guinea 24 points to nil in what was an absolutely crucial game for their Olympic dreams, and they are now well and truly coming to life. But in this review, we're going to look through what happened in this game between Samoa and Papua New Guinea. Also, what is next for the Samoans, as they have got a big challenge just around the corner where they do go head-to-head with New Zealand. But in this game, from start to finish, there were a lot of handling errors. I think both sides were feeling the nerves, feeling the pressure of the fact that there was an Olympic spot on the line for the winner of this matchup. At Samoa, even though they had a few handling errors, I know Paul Scanlon was one of the players probably dropped the ball the most, but they were still able to fight through, and when they had those attacking opportunities, they were able to make the most of them. Now, Papua New Guinea, they weren't able to break the streak that Samoa have currently created for themselves, which is up till this point, they have played 5 games in the Oceania Sevens competition, and they have still not conceded a single point. Now, for themselves, they have scored around 200 points up till this stage of the competition, but the fact that they have still yet to concede 1 try or 1 point is absolutely massive for their confidence going forward. It shows that their defense is solid, definitely because of the amount of penalties that we have seen Samoa give away. Just shows they are a very well-oiled machine on defense. But they are up against New Zealand next, and of course New Zealand have scored quite a few tries, including a few up against the Fijians most recently in their playoff game. So Fiji, they will be going head-to-head with Papua New Guinea, who, to be honest, in this game, yes, they had their handling errors as well, but there were still a few players who looked promising, whether that was going to be Winas, whether that was going to be Benjamin Kennedy. I wanted to see him get that ball a little bit more alongside Dixon Morrison, who was out on the other wing. But for the Samoans, you could create a list of who the players were who were important throughout this game, whether it was Nauli Vaia with his size. Motu Opitai was getting really involved, not just out on the wing, but also in the middle of the field, trying to create those opportunities. We saw 4 tries scored by the Samoans, not many kicks going over throughout the contest. Alafipo, he was able to score himself one of those tries. And of course, Va'apilo Maleko, an awesome player to watch. He will be evident in that game up against New Zealand. And that game is taking place at 11 p.m. tonight, New Zealand time. We will actually be covering it on the channel, doing the live commentary. And alongside that, we will have a preview coming out a bit later on with who we think will be winning that game, the key players to look out for, and everything along those lines. The interview afterwards for Samoa, you could see the emotion, you could see the passion that they were bringing to this competition. They knew that they came in as favourites to be able to make it to the Olympics, but that didn't dishearten them. That didn't make them crack under the pressure. They didn't concede any points. And that is the best way to win games of rugby. At the end of the day, if your opposition can't score, they can't win. At best, they can draw, but the Samoans, with the amount of tries that they have been scoring recently, it was going to make it very hard to draw this contest. But nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. Like I said, Samoa qualifying for the Olympics. This was only a very brief review of the game, but we will be going a little bit more in depth after the New Zealand versus Samoa game that is taking place at 11 p.m. But thank you all very much for tuning in. Do let me know what you thought of this match. What do you think Samoa will need to do differently in their next contest up against New Zealand? For me, of course, the handling was one thing, but it's the discipline. The penalties that they've given away throughout this competition, I honestly feel like they are one of the top sides that have given away the most penalties throughout this comp. So they'll want to make sure they improve that going into their next game. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you are new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you all for the next one.